Have you ever lost something precious to you and thought you'd never get it back? A woman by the name of Sarah Thomas from Oregon loves thrifting and even has her own business of reselling interesting items she finds through Facebook. One day she found a vintage designer bag that she couldn't pass up because she knew it would earn a lot on the resale market. Little did she know that bag would end up changing someone's life for the better after realizing it was heavier than usual. Hello wonderful people, I'm Scott Leffler for WonderBot, and here is this woman purchased a $3 diaper bag from Goodwill. You won't believe what was inside. Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos. One day, Oregon resident Sarah Thomas saw a bag at a thrift store that she couldn't let pass. After purchasing, she turned it over to inspect it, and something heavy moved. That's when she started to investigate harder. After rummaging around the purchase, feeling along the lining, Thomas wanted to know what was in there. How odd, she thought, as she checked the compartments. Then Thomas discovered a hole in the lining and reached further down. Her hand glanced over a strange rectangular object, and she knew right away what it was and that it didn't belong there. The Oregon resident loved nothing more but to bargain shop. It was her favorite pastime. Whenever she passed up a thrift shop, she would always stop there to find some goods. Her main focus was to find anything that looked unusual or interesting. She had such a knack for finding obscure things that she started her own clothing resale business online. She thought she had seen it all in her many years in the industry, but she was wrong. Thomas started a Facebook page titled Sarah's Southern Oregon Secondhand Deals and became quite successful from it. She was able to generate a steady source of income thanks to hard work and her keen eye. Her weeks consisted of traveling to local thrift shops, searching for the products that stuck out to her several times a week. While some days were pretty good, she would run into bad luck other times. That's just the business. In her searching process, Thomas would come across some questionable items. By that we mean she would uncover that her finds would be worn or damaged. That made them unfit for resale, but that wasn't enough to stop her from trekking on. On occasion, Thomas would discover an object that was more suspicious looking than usual. This was the case when she spotted a $3 diaper bag, and she knew right away she had to have it. Not only was it a designer label diaper bag, but it was vintage. That's double the points in her book. So there was no question that Thomas was going to purchase that sweet bag. The best part was that it looked good as new, the epitome of a rare find. She thought to herself that the bag would fetch at least $200 in resale value. She bought it without hesitation. It was when she made it home that she realized something. Once Thomas made it back home with her prized diaper bag, that's when she noticed something interesting. "I was cleaning it and just noticed something heavy shaking around in there," Thomas explained. After looking around inside the bag, she still couldn't find anything. She started to think negative thoughts and fear of what the previous owner could have left in there. Thomas also wondered why the last owner would get rid of such a valuable item. As each second passed by, Thomas's curiosity grew more and more. She thought that she should return the bag and leave it at that. It was a second-hand bag after all. As good of an idea that might have been, her interest became too high, and she couldn't just let it go. That's when she saw a small hole in the lining of the bag. She had no clue she was about to uncover a 7-year-old mystery. After peeking into the opening, she saw a flash of silver, and her heart began to race. What could it be? Thomas started widening the hole so she could get to the bottom of this. Was it a treasure? Carefully, Thomas pecked away at the hole, careful not to mess up what she spotted. She then whispered, "Here goes," as she prepared to uncover what was inside this mysterious bag. Thomas's hand softly grazed an object, and she winced. It was cold and hard, but she was relieved it wasn't slimy and wet. She also recognized that it felt like a metal object. Slowly, she pulled it out, and her levels of astonishment shot through the roof. It was a brand new Sony digital camera in the bag. After figuring out what it was, that only left her with more questions. For example, who did it belong to? After finding the power button, Thomas turned it on and held her breath. The suspense was killing her as it beeped its way to life. Thomas was so surprised that she had to jump a little. At first, she was reluctant to look through what was in there, but she carried on. After seeing all the personal and secret memories, she was unable to look away from it. What could have been in that camera? What she saw was pictures of a younger woman and a baby. She assumed it was a mother and her child, and with each new photo, her heart sank even more. Picture after picture, it wasn't long until she'd reached the end of it all. She felt such shock by what she'd seen. Well before she got through the end of it, though, she knew something had to be done about it. But what? When asked if Thomas had any hesitation about trying to figure out what to do, she gave a great response. "I live by the golden rule. I would hate someone to do that to me." Thomas made up her mind and knew she had to take action. Looking at the photographs was more than enough to ignite this passion in her. In her heart, she knew it was the right decision to make, and she couldn't have been more correct. Being a mother also propelled her into action. She knew how she would feel if she had lost a camera with such valuable memories in it. Some moments are irreplaceable, and photos help you remember them better. She thought about all the precious memories she had with her child, such as the day she went home with her baby for the first time from the hospital, and her child's first steps. She had to do something to find the rightful owner. That's when it hit her like a sack of bricks. Thomas already had a substantial following on Facebook, so she figured she could share the photos online and hopefully someone would recognize them. "I would hate to lose pictures," Thomas recalled. "It might not be much, but it is to somebody." She wondered if the owner would even still be in the area or not. There was a chance that the original bag owner might have lost it years ago. Thomas made a post on her Facebook that read, "I'm not sure if this is okay to post here, but I purchased a diaper bag at the Goodwill and found a blue Sony CyberShot camera inside with photos. Does anyone know who this family or people in these pictures are? I want to make sure they get their camera and most definitely their SD card." Thankfully, the owner was nearby. It was a miracle, and she had social media to thank. What else could have had the power to find someone in such a complex situation? Only 1 hour after the initial post, the owner of the bag revealed themselves, and it happened to be one of Thomas's followers. Her name was Katie Connor, and she was confused by the whole ordeal. Thomas reached out via Facebook Messenger and told her that she had her camera and the SD card that was filled with timeless photos. That's when Connor had no idea what she was talking about. Thomas sent her some pictures in hopes of jogging her brain. Once Connor saw the photos, she nearly burst into tears. She thought all those memories were lost forever, but she couldn't have been more wrong. It was an excellent time to be thankful. Thomas arranged a meeting with Connor at the local Target so she could give back her valuable memories. Thomas had no clue it was going to be such an emotional reunion and what was to come next. We can imagine that Thomas felt a burst of joy during all of this. "Thank you," Katie bursts as she strides up to Thomas with a look of unparalleled joy. After Thomas handed her the camera with all the memories, Connor said, "I think we thought it was long gone." That's when she told Thomas just how long the camera was missing. Thomas couldn't believe it. How was the camera still alive after such a long time? How did no one else find this precious item after all this time passed? The year was 2017 when Thomas came across her lucky Goodwill find, but the camera came up missing in 2010. That's 7 years of lost memories. We understand why Connor was confused at first because that is quite a while. Connor's baby was only 1 year old in many of the pictures, but she's now 7. That's an incredible time capsule if you think about it. Connor couldn't wait to scroll through the photos and see all those good times. Connor thought her camera would never get found, let alone return to her possession. Thanks to Thomas, the thrifting master, all of her past memories were back in her hands and heart. Thomas remained humble about the whole thing and thought her deed wasn't anything too special. "I wouldn't think that anyone else would do it, but I guess maybe nowadays that isn't the case," she said in an interview.